Even if you don't see the light of day, it doesn't mean the night is eternal. It is always darker before dawn. And we are at the moment in the darkest point of the night, just before the sunrise. There is absolutely no hint and no clue in the deepest darkness that the sun will rise. But the simple fact that we know it will makes the darkness less dark, make us stronger, more resilient, more patient, and confident. That darkness is only the lack of light. It is not worse than this. The war that we are going through at the moment is certainly despicable. A war that we are winning. We just need to finish the last little bit of cleansing. The enemy has gone. In the process of going, more exactly, all the reptilians have lost and abandoned their outpost in the star system everywhere. The only reptilian belonging to the nefarious Sicard Empire that are left in the star system are on Earth, in the undergrounds. They are trapped. They are cornered by the Earth Alliance. Just a little bit of work to do and we are there. Less than 5% of the undergrounds are still need to be cleared, but they are secured now and finishing the job. The Greys, also the Nebu from the Orion group, are leaving. All the personnel has left a long time ago. Those who survived. The officials were the last to leave. Tried to escape the star system, but it was too late. The Galactic Federation of Worlds had found the frequency keys of the portals. So all the Greys are here. The officials can't leave. They're all trapped. They have been trapped, taken. They are going nowhere. And thanks to this, the Galactic Federation of Worlds has been able to crack the code of the Hive. All Greys strive, not all Greys, all Orion Greys strive in a frequency like the Borgs in Star Trek that links them all to the one central consciousness that they call the Queen. This Queen consciousness, the spider at the center of the web, resides in the nebula of Orion, in a place that we call the cube, that they call the cube. The frequencies have been cut. All the Greys that are still here trapped in the star system have been disconnected from the Hive. They are now prisoners, and they will be escorted to where they need to be escorted, out of the star system. On Earth, now, the remaining enemy, which is human, is very scared, panics, because it is frightened, because it is losing. Humans of the deep state on Earth have lost their alien support. The heads at the top of the pyramid have fallen. So they try by all means as possible now to play the last cards. And the last cards, I mean, they're not really powerful cards. They couldn't play the alien invasion or salvation. We found it out. Project Bluebeam, just so many money went down the drain, unfortunately, because people are clever. We found out that it was going to be, so they went over it. And all the rest that is happening, we found out. We know what is in this thing. We know everything. So that as well will fall, will stop soon. People are rebelling everywhere on Earth. Humans of Earth have such a resilience, and they are discovering it now, finally, as a global culture, planetary culture, as a global species, the spirit of the species. Humans of Earth are about to discover how does unity feels like. How does it just feel to be all together, standing all together, fighting a common enemy, which is not from this world? Well, the Earth Alliance has been done this. Now it's happening at a civilian level. We're about to realize how powerful unity is. What is happening with these last cards that the devil had in its bag? Confusion, anxiety, stress, fear. All this. We know these cards. We've been dealing with it already. We just need to know that we can identify them. Fear, when it comes to you, it broadcasted to you. Confusion, anxiety, stress, all these things. How does that work? You know, it's a temporal war. And at the moment we stepped on the right timeline, because we are good fighters upstairs, and here the humans too. The enemy knew when the tipping point in the battle was passed. So they prepared the ground to play these last cards. They train people, they condition people, they mind control them to be their tools, said the ambassadors of the shadow at the right moment. People abducted in certain programs, popular people in search for ego. They all have been prepared just a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. These people who have started at that moment to be prepared were given messages, not from the good side, messages to empower and help humanity, and slowly, slowly, you know how it works. The frog in the hot water, drop, drop, drop of lies until it became all lies. But that was quite mild. They needed to keep the trust like dormant and build audience, build audience, build audience. Now what happens as the enemy is losing on Earth and beyond, all these tools have been activated. Pum, 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 pum. Yes? How do you recognize these poor victims, these poor people who have been abused and used, or still are, most of them? They carry the message of doom and gloom, that we're all gonna die. Breaking news, we're all gonna die sooner or later. And super breaking news, like above it, death does not exist. So, what is that all about? Binding you in fear to lower down your vibration. When your vibration is lowered down, you are vulnerable to mind control. And you will do whatever you're told, using fear tactics, emotional stress. And those people claim the old channel, the light. I often advise not to channel, especially not now, what is not by nature connected to you. Do not channel anything else than your usual spirit guides, personal spirit guides, your ancestors, your star family, but nothing else. Because the bad entities, very dark stuff are roaming around, and the AI, oh my gosh, you have no idea what's around you, the cloud of dust and dark. Do not try to make contact with anything. And if you are contacted by something that is not of your personal guides, of your star family, so group, or your ancestors, refuse. They will use names such as Ashtar, Galactic Federation of Light, Maria Magdalena, Saint Germain, Jesus, Sananda, and all the things to seduce you. Oh my God, I'm channeling Ashtar. Yeah. But when something that pretends to be the Galactic Federation, calls itself the Galactic Federation of Light, tells you that you're gonna die in horrible conditions, is that really the Galactic Federation talking? These men and women and other genders who have been fighting, sacrificing their lives. Okay, you don't die, but you need to be reborn. I mean, you know, that's not nice. Sacrificing their life, they're being away from home for so long, away from their families, fighting and just putting all these efforts to build Solar Warden, to do all these things, fighting in the undergrounds beside the humans, telling us all the time that they are not here to save us, we have the power, they're just here to assist us, blah, 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 and that we need to raise our frequency to get out of this mind control thing. Do you think that the same people would say suddenly, you're doomed, you're gonna die, everything is dark, and so we are going to save only those who are the chosen ones? Don't you think there's something that's not right? Of course it isn't right. Nothing is going to do the job for you. The Galactic Federation of Worlds is here to take care of the off-world things. The aliens here, the bad aliens. Our ascension, our freedom, we make it ourselves. As Commander Valthor said, we cannot liberate a slave who holds on to his chains. It's time we stand up, we stop kneeling. So everything that spreads fear, confusion, and conflict and division, that is not in contact with our allies. It is not in contact with the allies of the humans of Earth. We have a tremendous power. We need to realize we can use it. And the first and the most important power that we have is called sovereignty. We are all free individual beings because we have free will. Yes? Yes, we do. Sometimes decisions are not easy, are painful. Just decisions. You always have the choice. You always have the choice. And it is not because it's a pleasant choice that it is the best solution. Sometimes you need to take the thorn path to get out of the forest quicker. Sometimes crossing a meadow with flowers, you'll be eaten by wolves. Sometimes you need to take another path, which is more difficult, but that's the good one. Think, and your heart knows. Do not listen, all the bringers of doom. In the same time, do not shoot the messenger. The bringers of dooms are just the victims of darker forces. They will be left on their own very soon. They will be confused. Do not blame them. Do not get angry at them. But welcome them and tell them, we were walking beside you in the same war. You were confused, but now we're all together. The new earth of tomorrow, soon, is a planet of peace where everyone has matured enough to not be in conflict, to not look for conflict with each other. We can all disagree on a lot of things, and that's normal. That triggers, the mind and the evolution, and, it's good to disagree. We need to disagree with each other. Otherwise, there's no intellectual challenge. We need to. But let's do it in respect, in kindness, in maturity. I was born into this existence in the country of France. And I will finish this broadcast by telling you this. There's a French writer named Voltaire who said something very, very powerful. He said this: I may disagree totally with what you say, but I will fight to death to defend your right to express it.